Hi, my name's John Eads. I decided to do college football for my Religion 103 final project here. I go as far to say college football is the purest form of religion in sports. And there are several different ways that college football has created a religion of its own since its inception in the early 20th century. For over a century, the sport has been home to epic comeback stories, sold out crowds, dominance, and miracles. Creates a civil religion amongst the fans who travel every Saturday to stadiums across the country to witness greatness and worship the gifts and talents the athletes possess. As amateurs, the athletes aren't motivated by money when they play. Instead, they give their all to represent themselves, represent their school, and represent their team. The coaches are called upon to put forth a fun and exciting product for the school and for the fans, and there also is a lot of pressure on the coaches to win games. But this project goes deeper than that because at the end of the day, sports and football are not just about winning. So to start with the coaches play a big role in the team's success, and not just by calling the right plays or recruiting the best athletes. The coaches play a critical role in getting the best out of the athlete and using their gifts to the best of their ability, win or lose. Typically, coaches are former players themselves, so they understand the importance of development and can comprehend the importance of the exchange of gifts between the coach and the athlete. And coaches also need to connect with the players and get them to buy into the team mentality, something bigger than themselves. And that was what former NBA coach Phil Jackson did. That was his philosophy when he coached the Bulls in the 80s and 90s. He was fed up with how ego-driven and materialistic professional athletes and the game of basketball itself had become. So he found ways to connect with the athletes and get them to buy into the mentality of the team and put it above self-interest. And this is seen in all college sports, especially football, because it's the ultimate team sport. You hear every day, football is the ultimate team sport because without everyone doing their job, you can't succeed, right? If one player misses his assignment or doesn't give 100% on a play, the play is dead. It doesn't work. It's a negative play, or there's a lot of different things that happen. Moral of the story is it's bad if you don't do your job. And as a former player, the biggest thing about being successful in the sport is to do your job and not to try to do other people's jobs for them. So less is almost better in this sport, right? But as long as you do your job, contribute to the team in that sense, you'll be successful, right? Moving on, it's hard to describe what this religion is regarding people in college football for everyone because the meaning for everybody is different. Instead of describing its defining concepts, Professor Arnold says to reveal its influence. Right, so what is the influence of the sport on people, the athlete, the fans, the coaches? We've done the coaches, now let's talk about the athletes. So for the athletes, it gives them a sacred space to use their gifts and to perfect those gifts for the greater glory of the game. For coaches, it gives them an opportunity to affect the lives of many and lead a group of men or women to success in whatever form that might be, whether that's winning games, just getting better as a player, as an athlete, or just getting better as a person in life, right? In the right environment, it can also make coaches love the game. Going back to Phil Jackson, in his case, he was about ready to leave the game of basketball for good before becoming the head coach of the Bulls. And if that happened, the greatest dynasty in the NBA would have never been a thing. Michael Jordan may have never been a thing. And finally, for the fans, I could speak for many in saying that life is always better when you have something to look forward to. When there's a game on Saturday, you get through the week. It's great, right? Fans look forward to the weekend games when they can be in their sacred space because we talk about how the sacred space is for the athletes. It's also for the fans. Some people enjoy going to the stadium, sitting there, being amongst other fans, watching the product on the field, right? Worshiping the athletes, the team, and really in totality, worshiping the sport by being there and representing the fan base for the athletes. Growing up myself, I was born into fandom of the Michigan Wolverines. I grew up about 15 minutes and about a mile walk from the big house and was one of 110,000 attending a U of M game on Saturdays growing up. And I was just on the road that way a little bit. It was a religion of its own for me, and it continues to be because I'm still a fan of the team, even though I go to Syracuse. I would follow the team all year long and study up on the coaches and the players, so you can think of that as like the Bible of the offseason, if you will. So the Big House for me and for fans is our temple to worship the product on the field, if you will. It was my cathedral for this civil religion. So college football will forever be my favorite sport, and after taking this class, I kind of look back on it as a second religion. And just to wrap up here before we end this, it was also big for me becoming orange, becoming a fan, becoming engulfed in everything that is orange. For me, that meant getting well versed in the history of Syracuse athletics, basketball, football. That's how I kind of became orange. So that's kind of another aspect of this whole thing that we talked about in class is becoming orange. Well, for me, getting involved in the media outlets around basketball and football at Syracuse has helped me kind of get into the culture, become a true Syracuse student, fan, and orange. So thank you very much for listening. I've been John Eads. This has been my project about college football and the phenomena that it is. Thank you for watching.